Hi everyone, Evie here. Welcome back to another episode of infinitynikki. In this episode, we are going to continue what we're doing in the last episode because we only get through half of a certain outfit in terms of story and lore. If you missed the last episode, you could check it out. We kind of learned about the backstory on Crimson Rhapsody, and in this episode, we're going to learn about Art of Tailoring Scarlet. So yeah, we talked about the original version, so now we're talking about the evolved version. And then if we do still have enough time, we're going to talk about these two outfits on the left that are newest. Those are our newest banner outfits, so I want to know what they're about. And so then maybe I'm going to get more attached to the outfits, but let's check. And honestly, reading Crimson Rhapsody kind of wanted, like, I got tempted by like tiny bit to keep pulling, but I won't, because I reminded myself that at least we have the original and the first evolution, and we need to save up for 1.5, so we're not gonna pull more. But yeah, reading the lore is like dangerous, because when you know more about the backstory to certain outfits, you kind of want it more. Yeah. Okay, so Art of Tailoring Scarlet. It is playful and fashion. The red moon rested upon the branch as the tailor twirled and danced. With the surging rhythm of the carnival, her movements grew ever more untamed. Each spin and leap... Oh, we've read this. Okay, hold on. Each spin and leap exuding an irresistible allure, drawing the attention of every fair sprite. Oh my god, I almost fell from my chair. So because I told you guys that like my back is not doing well at the moment from sitting down too much, it's actually like my tailbone from like sitting down too much. I'm still starting to think maybe my chair didn't fit me, so it hurt me. It's getting better since I've been standing up pretty much every single day when I'm in front of the computer. So and then I'm too tired to stand up today, so I found my bar stool and I'm sitting on that, and I was adjusting and I almost fell off of it. So yeah, but I'm okay, don't worry. Okay, Marcus Jr. said, I heard this is a carnival themed outfit designed by a fair sprite tailor. How interesting. Oh, okay, we've read this for sure in the last episode. Okay, let's move on to pieces. All right. Gift of humor. Cool. The final stitch traced a graceful arc along the brim, and a brand new hat was complete. Applause echoed from all directions as the seamstress bowed. How could she not return the gesture of gratitude for her peers' approval? Aw, that is so cute. I can picture it. I like it. Baby, I wish I could see it in person. If this moment were captured, it would be so interesting. It would be. But if you do make it in the game, since I record everything, I'll be able to record it and it will be captured. But I guess it was like a long time in history. Because I feel like Valimbo was talking about her idol kind of being a figure in the past. So I guess she might, or he, I think it's he might no longer be with us, or maybe there's something that he's like traveling or something like that. Kilo, a dew of inspiration, once shared the story with me. A tailor spontaneously crafted an outfit and became the party king. Oh, this is so cute. So it's also tied to the revelry season, but like maybe past revelry seasons. Crimson Frenzy. While endlessly spinning, the crisp sound of fabric being cut intertwines with the passionate melody. Beneath the moonlight, her hair is tingled with crimson, and as she sends the thrill, it comes alive, happily dancing with her. Not gonna lie, this hairstyle typically is not my favorite, but this one just has that vibe to it that makes me really like it. And also the story is really nice, so I'm liking it a lot more. Okay, Dada. The arrival of inspiration is truly mysterious. Sometimes I come up with great ideas for outfits in my dreams. Oh Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But then also, like, when you dream, like, when you wake up, you almost, like, I forget about most of my dreams. But limbo. And, like, there's sometimes when you think you're, like, directing a movie that is so epic and so cool in a dream, and once you wake up, you forget most of it. Or sometimes you're in between the state of being awake and asleep. You kind of remember it, and then when you're replaying it, you realize it doesn't really make sense. That happens to me all the time. Limbo, spinning around while designing clothes. I've never tried this before. I must try it too. Oh, imagine if she tried it. It would be so cool. It would still be Essling themed, but then it would be so cool. Okay, Scarlet Heart. In those easy and joyful days, the favorite sprites carried their untold secrets. If she could, she would have embroidered little flowers on their cloaks, believing that there was always a power capable of healing wounds and bringing comfort and hope. I love this. Morda. So this is what she had in mind. It's such a thoughtful and delicate idea. Tamise, I love this design. I've already thought of several makeup looks that would go perfectly with it. Yeah, Tamise, you say that all the time. But we need more makeup items in the game, and I'm not seeing any, so it's either Timmy's is slow at producing new product, or Paper is just really mean to us and not giving us more bling makeup. A lonely vermilion dusk. A lonely sack hid behind a tree, watching the favorite sprite on stage, freely expressing its creativity. The tailor noticed its eyes shimmering with curiosity and envy. The button shield raced before its chest struck her heart. Oh, wow. The design of this eye mask is outstanding, with a quirky style that catches the eye. Limbo. I rarely praise my peers, but I do praise my idol. Her designs always inspire me. Actually, when they draw a connection between the two outfits, I do see like how she got inspired by Art of Tailoring. I think that is really cool that like there's actual stories behind these designs. Heartfelt invitation. Perhaps a favorite sprite wishes to dance with her. The tailor thought this as she carefully reached out her hand, only to find countless hands suddenly placed in her palm. Aww. Lookable. No wonder Valimbo sees her as an idol. At the grand party, she was the undisputed star. Valimbo, of course, my idol is the party king, loved by all the fair sprites. Cool. Okay, Crimson Silhouette. Let's dance. The tailor laughs, waving her measuring tape and ribbons. The threads in her hands gradually weave together, growing longer and wider, and eventually forming a dress. She hopes that one day a human girl will be willing enough to wear it. We are very willing, and we love it. So thank you for designing it. Nanoi. Me. Oh yeah, this would suit Nanoi as well. I love to wear this dress, and I'm sure Nikki will love it too. Nikki loves it. I'm speaking for Nikki. Musada. I wonder if Valimbo designs Das clothing too. If she does, our performance costumes will be saved. Oh, I love that Musada loves Valimbo's design, and Valimbo was worried that no one is gonna like her Essling designs. That's really adorable. The drum beats slowed, and the tailor's impromptu creation neared its end. I can picture it when like they talked about it in this terms. So it's kind of like she's twirling and she's like dancing on stage, partying, leading everyone, doing her crazy moves while creating this outfit. And then like as the music fades, the creation is like near its end. This is like giving Disney and like Barbie movies in a way. Around her, the favorite sprite cheered loudly, and in the applause, she felt a sense of fulfillment like never before. Perhaps she would weave the threads in her hands into socks and give them to the eager audience. Dada. Wait, favorite sprites wear socks too? This is the first time I've heard of it. Same. I've never seen them wear socks, but that's actually kind of adorable. That's just like the story I heard. The Fairy Sprite tailor can come up with so many outfits on the spot. That is so cool. So they don't have to like technically sew it, they do it with magic? Or are they handing out like designs so we gather the material and we craft it? So they gather the material. Like people who has received the sketches would gather the material and craft them. I don't know. The clouds veil the red moon as the pitch black night slowly fades, and the morning sun reveals half of its form. The tailor bows to the audience, dawn's light casting a glow upon her, the party king. Aww, Valimbo. I really wish I could experience a moment like this too. Same. I wish our version was as epic as this. Kodibo, how long has Valimbo has been in this condition? If these delusions happen often, I suggest visiting the clinic for a checkup. Wait, so these are all illusions from Valimbo? What? Okay, let's find out what's going on. With just a needle and thread, you can outline the shape of an outfit. So could the same needle and thread capture the beauty of this movement, freezing the festive scene forever? Dada. Maybe happy things don't happen very often, but I think simply enjoying those moments is enough to bring happiness. Kilo the Cadence Born. The Wish Carnival Party is a celebration where Fairy Sprites let go of all grudges and sorrow. That's really nice. It's kind of like, okay, we're in our regular lives and I don't like you and you don't like me or something. Or like there's beef going on between our companies or companies in the Fairy Sprite world. And when this day comes, we put aside all the differences and then they just like enjoy and have fun together. Sounds like Vegas. In a way, but not really, because people still think about like their everyday stuff and it gets pretty real. But like, yeah, I feel like this is like really idealized but really fun. All right, moving on. Pastoral dance. This is part of our newest 4 stars. So let's take a look. I'm wondering what the story behind it is, because I don't know. I don't know how it relates to our current event. So let's take a look. And I also wonder like how these 4 stars tie into like the overall storyline, like how to decide which one to come or get released with which version. So let's take a look. Where has the florist sheep wandered off to today? As the shepherdess spell rings like a sweet melody and hurried footsteps turned into a playful dance. A little sheep stumbles onto the dance floor. The girl chasing it becomes an unexpected guest at the Fairy Sprite celebration. Oh, so this is how they're going to tie in the story? That's kind of a stretch. Because technically, like whenever you add something, you can say, oh, okay, so she stumbled upon the Fairy Sprites party, so that's why we're releasing this outfit. But I feel like it's too soon to judge. We'll finish reading this, and then when we move on to Enchanted Writing, we're going to be able to find out if they're adding the same plot to every single outfit. But yeah, and when we read more about like the previous ones, we're going to know more about like how those 4 stars relate to the current version. So yeah, Loopable. This is a story written in my treasured novel, but the author is actually a Fairy Sprite. Oh, cool. So a lot of the stories are Fairy Sprites. Pokeball. This book is really popular. Maybe it can be used to study human and Fairy Sprite cultures. Cool. You got me curious and I'm intrigued. After the reverie, would the quiet of everyday life take over? Yet on another day, amidst the biting cold and snow, they would dance again. Snowflakes gently drifted, their footsteps light with each soft jingle of the shepherdess. Oh my gosh, of the shepherdess bell. Every day became one worth dancing through. Oh, I can see the snow. I like this. Loopable. This is the novel's final chapter. Every time I read it, I can't get enough. Even in the days when the cold wind howls, don't forget the feeling of dancing. Love that Kilo is always here to conclude on things. Okay, curled horn. Let's see what this is. In the dance hall, the sheep's curled horns brushed against the favorite bride's confetti party hat, while the girl's figure was encircled by the swirling fairish brides. Gradually, the weight of her stumbling steps lightened, as if the magic of the dance had lifted her spirit. Cool. Dodo bow. So, does that mean the fairish bride donning a confetti cannon hat looks like it has horns? Loopable, human, little sheep, and fairish brides dancing together. What a wonderful scene. I agree. And also, some people ask me like what the differences are between the horns, and I've seen people like both on, I think in my comment section or somewhere, I don't remember, and also on Red Know, that a lot of people say that there's no differences between the original and the evolved version. There is to the horns, because the evolved version, it's actually like a pretty big difference. The evolved version is like blue glowy light, and the original is like white glowy light with a silvery tone because of the glass, and the blue one is like blue magical light surrounding it. And if you want to see details, I did talk about it in my detail breakdown video if you missed it. And I have timestamped the video, so if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can just jump to the corresponding section with each piece so you can see like the details of each pieces. Okay, fresh buds. With each graceful step, the girl's face blossomed into a pure, joyful smile. The gentle breeze accompanying her and the sheep's dance swept across the stage, carrying the sweet fragrance of flowers through the air. I love this. I'm gonna put aside my judgment, because I at the beginning when I heard the story overall, I feel like it's a bit stretched because they're just talking about a shepherdess suddenly like stumbled upon the fairish bride party and they had like an interaction and everything, and it just feels kind of a stretch to include this outfit with part of the revelry season. But I'm gonna put that aside and just judging the story by itself, I think it's actually kind of cute that she stumbled upon the party and then she's like dancing with them and like kind of slowly getting into the rhythm. And like I picture as someone who's like a bit shy, like she's reluctant at the beginning to be part of the party, but then everyone kind of influenced her, so she started dancing too and joined, and they had a happy time. I don't know. Oh, the sheep too. Kilo the cadence horn, the human girl, and the little sheep at the fairish bride party make for an unusual pair of dance partners. Musada. Whether it's a fairish bride, the little sheep, or the human, they can all sense the magic of music and dancing. Yes, they can. Okay, echoing about. Yeah, I want to know what this piece is for. I want to know the design element behind this. The girl rang his shepherdess bell, hoping to call back the florist sheep. The bell's chime blended with the rhythm of the dance, turning into a clear, melodious harmony that echoed through the air. Eloi, this bell was probably meant to summon the wandering little sheep back home. Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad our question got answered. Musara, but. Oh, I don't know why I kept thinking but is a put. But in a ballroom, this bell can also be played as a wonderful musical instrument. That is true. Musada, you are a true musician and a singer. Okay, silken braids. The shepherd girl and her florist sheep live on a lush meadow, dotted with daisies. Will the mischievous sheep run off again today? From the early morning, the girl can't shake her concern. Aww. Dada, the color gradient at the tip of her hair resembles the florist sheep's wool. I had no idea. I'm glad I read this. I would appreciate the hairstyle more now. Eloi, if the fences aren't properly maintained, Rendell will keep escaping. Okay. Okay, now I know who this is. Remember when we did that quest? I think it was during Erie season. We were supposed to do a quest, but then we have to do this sheep quest first before we get through the actual quest. And then part of it is helping Aloy find her sheep Randall, who kept running away because he's so mischievous. But then when he's running away, he managed to kind of like help a lot of people along the way by like knocking over their stuff and things like that. And then he eventually got a reward for like winning a mini game. And it was actually kind of an interesting quest. And then we got leg warmers out of that quest, I think. Okay, on stage, the girl and her sheep dance with graceful harmony. Their movements in tune with the shepherdess bell and the rhythmic patter of their feet. As they twirled, it seemed as though they carried the sweet scent of blooming flowers in their wake. Bathed in sunlight, their figures embodied a perfect blend of elegance and vitality. Cool. Dada, the floral patterns on this dress are so exquisite. One can almost smell the fragrance of flowers and grass. I see that too. I really like the details. Aloy, Rendell's wool also has a faint floral scent, but only if it's properly cleaned. Yeah, Rendell, not gonna lie, I feel like Rendell is probably gonna smell like dirt if he's not cleaned regularly because he runs away too much and then he would like roll to places. So I feel like he's probably gonna smell like nature, not flower. But well, if he did roll on flowers, I guess he'll smell like flowers, but no. Field's embrace. Perhaps it was the lively music that caught the little sheep's attention, or maybe it was a powerful rhythm that intrigued it. This time, the girl's flourish sheep dashed across the flower field, heading straight towards the center of the dance floor. Maybe, yeah, I think it got inspired. It wants to dance. But then also, I am so disappointed that we cannot herd normal sheep. I would so want to herd normal sheep. Oh, that would be so cute. And if you missed a short, I made a short on it testing whether we can herd normal sheep or not. Yeah, no. Short answer is no. Aloy, if there's ever a fun new event in town, Rendell might just run there and check it out. Oh, yeah. Rendell will run everywhere to check it out. And I love how like Aloy is so involved with this outfit because it's like it has something to do with sheep. Musada, as expected, even the little sheep couldn't resist joining such a lively and cheerful ball. I agree. I feel like every animal and stuff respond to like cheerful music probably. For his steps, the girl and the sheep chased each other, their steps weaving in and out, unknowingly creating a rhythm that was both fresh and powerful. The mesmerizing beat stirred the favorite sprites who couldn't help but join the dance. I love this. I can picture that moment. It's like they're kind of hesitant. They started kind of having fun, and then one of the sheep ran away, and then the little girl had to like chase her sheep. And then when she's chasing the sheep, creates that beat, and then everyone starts to dance and sing. That honestly reminds me of like a Disney movie or like a Barbie movie, but then Disney movie when it was still good. Musada, the little sheep runs, the human chases. Isn't this just a lively tap dancing motion? Or like a musical maybe. Aloy, every time I chase after Rendell, chaos ensues. Is that a form of dancing too? Well, I mean, Rendell is special. Rendell is definitely a very special boy. So yeah, I wouldn't say, well, I would say Rendell has talents in different areas, probably not music. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll get to learn about Rendell more and actually learn that he's really great at music. Who knows? I don't know. I do like that they're bringing back past quests NPCs back into this. I think it's really cute. The moment the little sheep leaped onto the stage, a mask symbolizing celebration flew towards its joyful steps. That is the mask. The Party King mask. As the sheep danced around the girl, their movements grew ever more lively, making her tassels swirl with the rhythm. Lupabo. The Party King is a flourish sheep. No matter how many times I read this, I always find it funny. I love this too. Musada, so long as it brings joy to everyone, why can't the party king be a little sheep? Okay, now I want to say, I feel like if Randall were at the party this year, when we're having the revelry season, he could be the party king as well. Randall is a pretty funny little guy. Big guy. The crisp sound of bells and the cheerful melody continue forever. Even after many years, the echoes of those memories will still echo in the ears. Morta, the sound of bells, music, laughter, and tap dancing from the melody of memories. Musada, how about adding some bell sounds to the next song? How about they write a song based on this? That would be really cute. It would be like a really cute encounter of like the two worlds. I think that would be really adorable. Pastoral dance, snow. After the revelry, would the quiet of everyday life take over? Oh, we read this. Okay, let's see what happens after the party is over. Yeah, you can see the blue tint here. Crystal horns. On cold, biting days, the girl huddled close to the little sheep for warmth. The florist sheep used its horn to push through the thick snow, stepping steadily beside her as they made their way home. I have a question, or maybe a theory. Are the three ghostly sheep now like ghosts of the sheep that used to take care of the girl and kept her company? Because if that's the case, that would be really, really cool. But then I'm still disappointed that we did not get the staff as an item. So, yeah. And there's no recolor. Like, you could have just changed the color regions and, like, just gave us an item. Like, what are you doing, paper? Alloy. Walking in the snow is, though, so it's tough. I don't know why I thought it was... Okay, I apologize. Walking the snow is tough, so one must be extra careful when herding sheep. Kilo. In the frigid, biting wind, the girl and the little sheep relied on each other for warmth. I love this. I love a good animal and human story. That is always the cutest. Okay, the girl looked up at the sky. Amid the drifting snowflakes, she spotted the warm, brilliant sun. Oh, let me move myself. Its rays bathed the snow and them, enveloping them. I don't know why words are hard sometimes. Okay, its rays bathed the snow and them, enveloping them in a shimmering silver glow. Okay, that was embarrassing. Let's just pretend that nothing happened. Dada. Not only is the fabric light and airy, but the lace trim is also extremely exquisite, just like snowflakes. Kilo the cadence born. To never forget the wonder of dancing is to never give up on hope for life. I love this. Oh, now I still remember when I was little, my mom made me learn piano. It's still not my favorite. But I kind of wish that I had a way to like express myself, because when a lot of people know how to sing or how to write songs or how to dance or how to play an instrument, they're able to express themselves in like artistically. But I don't know how. Like, I can't paint, I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play an instrument, and I am so introverted and scared. And because of COVID, I wear sweatpants all the time, and I even stopped like dressing myself. So yeah, I'm hoping to bring some of it back, because I actually used to style clothes for myself, but then there was like that huge gap, years, where I did not do that. So now I'm slowly trying to like actually step it up a little bit, because I think it's fun, not because like I want other people to see or like doing it for other people, but I think I like that to be like a way of like expressing oneself or something like that. I don't know. All right, let's continue. The shepherdess spell swayed gently, its pleasant chime stirring memories of the girl dancing with the favorite sprites. Following the sound, she began to dance the familiar steps, extending a sincere invitation to the little sheep beside her. Dada, dancing with the little sheep makes even a challenging journey fun. Kilo, amidst the howling frigid wind, the crisp sound of bells gave them the courage to press onward together. I love it. I love this. I really like that the first one is how we kind of got to know the girl, and then the second one is kind of like their day-to-day life in winter. I think that's really cute. Frost-woven drift. As the girl twirled in dance, her hair drifted in the flurry of snowflakes, gently kissed by the frosty white snow, turning a pure crystalline hue that perfectly matched the softness of the flora sheep's wool. Dada, if I stand out in the snow for an hour, will I end up with silver hair? You could try. I mean, yeah. If it's cold enough, if something happens to your house, probably. Baby, before that, though, she probably caught a bad cold. Yeah, probably. I think so. Because I feel like stories like this only happens in magical stories. Glacial bloom. Cool, so flowers that bloom in winter. As they twirled gracefully, snowflakes danced around them, and even the cold wind paused to watch, accompanied by the sound of the shepherdess spell and the crunch of the snow beneath their feet. They danced with the wind and snow. Dada, the embellishments and prints on this dress are as pure as a world covered in ice and snow. Kilo, the optimistic flower blooming in her heart will never wither, even if it's covered by ice and snow. Love that. That is really cute. Fragrant dance. In the joyful rhythm of the girl's steps, the sheep hopped along to the gentle chime of the shepherdess spell. In this frozen world, their footsteps intertwined, rekindling the warmth of celebration and the sweet fragrance of flowers that once surrounded them. Dada, even the little sheep was enchanted by the girl's joyful dance and joined the celebration. Kilo, the snowy dance must have reminded them of that lively celebration from before. Oh yeah, this is kind of like after that they went home and it's them again alone in like a big world, and they only have each other as company, and then like a really cold winter struck, and all they can do is entertain themselves by kind of dancing on their own. But then the sheep kept the little girl warm, and then they had like great memories and stuff like that. I think that's actually a really cute story, because like that one night of memories is like good enough to like provide warmth for their entire life, like every time they hang out together. But I mean, their own relationships are great already, like they don't necessarily need that night, but it's just when they have that night, there is something more to look at. That is cute. Lingering footprints. On the snow, two sets of footprints stretch across the ground, one belonging to the girl, the other to her sheep. Their paths began side by side, then intertwined in a dance, leaving a beautifully scattered trail on the pristine snow. I can picture that. That is stunning. And I hope we're going to get landscapes kind of like this in the future in the game. That would be stunning. I love snow. Dada. Two rows of cute footprints are left behind in the snow. Kilo. These footprints mark a tiny party in a world of ice and snow. Aww. Yeah, that is like the best description. That is so cute. Snowfall veil. The snowflakes continue to fall, soft and delicate, gently blanketing the ground and resting on the girl's hem and the sheep's fleece. As they danced, the snowflakes melted, turning into sparkling droplets that left a shimmering trail behind. Musara. If your passion is strong enough, it can even melt ice and snow. Kodibo, fun fact, when you dance, your body warms up, and of course, the snow on your body melts. Oh. Okay, that fun fact in such a romantic story with like our little doctor. This is our doctor, right? The fairy sprite providing us with a fun fact. That's actually kind of funny, because it's like nothing related. We're talking about romantic stuff, and then they're just like, okay, here's the science behind this magical story. I love that though. Snowbell Serenade. Gradually, the heavy snow covered their footprints, but the bells ringing through the valley and the joyous songs could never be buried in snow. Musada. That's it. The power of music can overcome all hardships. Kilo. Even if the heavy snow buries their footprints, the memories of the path they traveled will forever remain in their hearts. This is so cute. Now I appreciate the outfit more, and I love that we're gonna see her sheep. We're kind of, when we're in this outfit, we're kind of her, and we get to see her sheep in the ghostly form, which is just so adorable. But then, no matter how adorable you made the story to be, Paper, we are still mad about the staff. So yeah, just wanted to point it out. Okay, let's continue. Let me see how this ties into the story, because so far every single thing ties pretty well into the story. So we have Chrism Rhapsody, the outfit that Valimbo was dreaming of creating, and it's based on these S-lings. And then we have Art of Tailoring, created by Valimbo's idol, a past party king, and we saw the entire story. And then for Pastoral Dance, it's a girl who stumbled upon their party and kind of had that warm memory for the entirety of her life. So wonder how this one ties into it, but I think we're gonna save it for the next episode because we're kind of running out of time, and I feel like we should read through the makeup items first for the Reverie season banners, because I feel like we would have time for this, but we don't have time to get through both outfit for Enchanted Writing, so I think we should keep that in the same episode. So let's take a look at this. Snare Fall. As danger closed in, she focused intensely on the color of the S-ling's tail. This color will be perfect for the lips, she mused, lost in thought as she considered capturing the S-ling and bringing it back to the studio for further research. Who is she? Is she Timmy's or is she Valimbo? Because I've been trying to find out if Timmy's is the only one that is making makeup for Mirrorland, or is there other people, or are they by their original designer? Kilo. Night. This magical moment always sparks the creative fire in the hearts of creators. Dada. Although night is a great time for creation, you still need to be cautious of the S-lings outside. I really don't know. Like, there's a thing about nighttime. Like, when I was in school, when I write papers and stuff, like, I work at night. Like, I don't like doing that. Like, I am someone that if I don't sleep on time and if I don't wake up at time, I will feel like super, like not myself. Like, I have to sleep early and wake up early. Like, that's just my routine. If I don't do that, I have a headache and I'm just not myself. So, but then also when it comes to nighttime, like, there's just so much inspiration. Like, why can't that happen in the day? And then we can just like peacefully go to sleep. Mystery. Fog-bound shade. The cage-like fog trapped her tightly, and as her consciousness began to fade, a strange thought suddenly crossed her mind. This dark mist would make perfect eyelashes, so thick and lush. Okay, I made that face and I was confused. That is because suddenly the entire outfit is kind of about, well, you know from the previous episode if you watched that. So like it's completely different. I thought the makeup are supposed to be kind of relating back to the outfit, but then this one, like, it's kind of like someone is trapped in this dangerous situation. Kind of doing research for makeup. But who is this? Is it Valimbo? To me, I recognize it. This is a Philly Spirit Sax color. It's a perfect fit for someone with a wild personality. Okay, wild personality. Dada. Even in the toughest situations, they never stop creating. Designers' dedication is truly inspiring. Yeah, I love someone who's super dedicated to whatever they're doing. I think that is so cool. No matter what they're doing, if they're good at their craft and is serious about it, that is like the coolest thing in the world. And then at the same time, like when someone doesn't do their craft right, like if they claim like, okay, so what I do is I don't know, for example, I don't have an example, but like if someone has done something for years and years and they're not that good at it, that made me like annoyed and sad in a way, because if you spend so many years on it and that's what you say you love, why didn't you spend more effort into the things you love? I don't know, but maybe IRL stuff would come up. And I feel like the way I'm thinking is just like a overly perfected way of looking at it, because there's probably IRL issue causing them to me not be able to like focus on it too much, or if what they do is something that they have to do, it's not something they love, which happens so often. Like our careers isn't what we like always like to do, so then the skill is lacking in that aspect. But I just feel like if you decide something as your career, you have to at least do it right. You don't have to be the best, but you have to like be good at it and actually treat it seriously. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Okay, Mysterious Night. That was like too sidetracked. I'm getting way too sidetracked. Mysterious Night. On a night when the stars and moon faded, the thick mist and the whispers of the night did little to dull her passion for studying Esslings. With the figure she had been tracking just ahead, she eagerly sprinted into the mist depths, her small figure quickly swallowed by the darkness. Okay, I am thinking this is Valimbo, and I am thinking, are all the makeup items the backstory to making the outfits? Because if that is the case, then that is actually really, really cute. So now I actually want to read everything about all the 5-star outfits, because I feel like it's really cool that we get to know the backstory of like the research that went into making the outfit and making everything more immersive, of course. To me, although I don't want to admit it, this is the first time I've seen such a unique base makeup. Except it's not the base makeup. This is the eyebrows. Is this like the wrong comment here? Hey paper, what's wrong? Marcus Jr., I didn't realize this material could be used in makeup. I've learned something new. What new material? Excuse me. This is eyebrows. This is not ribbons. Okay, we're gonna have to read that. Let's see if they messed up. Illusory nightlight. She gazed into the maddening, haunting depths of the Essling's eyes, her body trembling with excitement. Yes, this is what I want, she murmured, carefully noting the Essling's unique, mesmerizing colors. Love that. This also kind of looks like stained glass colors, but it's just not like that rigid mosaic like shapes for stained glass, but the colors are kind of like that. Dada, I have the utmost respect for the designer's creativity and courage. Same. Marcus Jr., I see now. No wonder Grandpa said my designs were outdated. I've learned something new. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the creative people learn and find inspiration in like hardship or like different kinds of experiences in life. So I think that is really cool. And then I've heard a story on like a Chinese celebrity, like they used to write songs, but because their life was like really, really tough, like they had no money, they had nothing, and they had like bad love life or something like that. I don't remember exactly because I don't really follow those, but I just came across the story. And then the songs they wrote were like really great, but then they came to fame, and then after that they're unable to write songs that they've done before because their life is no longer like that. I don't know if it's true. I came across the story. I don't even remember who and where, but I just heard about it. So like, yeah, that, I don't know why it reminded me of that. Okay, let's continue. Crimson Velvet. The design was inspired by the patchy mending marks on the Feli spirit sack. While it wasn't a concept everyone could grasp, it created an unexpected synergy between the designer and the stylist, where danger and beauty coexisted. appreciated only by those who truly understood. I must stress one more. Stylists always prioritize safety. I agree. Baby, sometimes to capture the perfect shot, I end up putting myself in risky situations. I won't do that again. I feel like if you're like really invested in what you were doing, it's really hard to focus on something else. Like when I'm taking pictures, if the model or like the client is in a really, really good place, or like that pose is really nice, I would forget about myself. Like all I see is what's inside of my camera, and then like I just don't think about anything else. Not that mine is like as dangerous, mine is not dangerous at all, but then I just don't even care about like what position I'm in. If I have to like lay on the ground, I would like when I take dog pictures, I would just like lay on the ground and take those pictures. But yeah, but and then like after you get home, when you see the pictures, it's just like really happy. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, let me read this again. On a night when the stars and moon faded, the thick mist and the whisper of the night did little to dull her passion for studying Esslings. Was the figure she had been tracking just ahead. She eagerly sprinted into the mist's depth, her small figure quickly swallowed by the darkness. Yeah, well, they're talking about, okay, interesting. Safety, prioritize safety. Capture perfect shot. I want to say Dada's comment and Baby's comment can be for any makeup item, but Timmy's and Marcus Jr.'s comments makes more sense if they were put under the base makeup item story. So I want to say paper did something there, but I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. And also something else I want to figure out is I want to see if this is actually a set with the top we got from either Pink Ribbon Waltz, Deep Echo, or Daughter of the Lake. So I kind of want to read the story and see if they're actually a set. But yeah, I feel like we should wrap it up here. We went through a lot in this episode, and I'm really happy because talking about the stories with you guys is really fun. And in the next one, we're gonna read through Enchanted Writing, and then after reading through that, we might read a little bit more if the story is really interesting. If not, we'll probably gather a little bit more because I kind of want to break up reading and gathering so we're not doing the same thing over and over again. And yeah, if you missed any previous episodes, check out the playlist. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.